Have you ever wondered what a level designer's job is really like? It's that final assembly point where everything's being put together. So you really got to know like what's coming in, hot, what's coming in not. No day is ever the same, and in that is exciting, and that can also be challenging because you're not always sure exactly what to do.
Hi everybody, I'm Troy Dunniway.
I have over 35 years experience in games. I've worked on over 100 games. Worked at Microsoft, Sony, Disney, Ubisoft, EA. I helped create the program at CG Spectrum for game design. As a level designer, throughout each stage and phase of a project, and the job really changes quite a bit. That's one of the reasons I love it to death. And every team is a little different. Every project's a little bit different. But typically, you get up in the morning. I'm working from home, so I get ready and I do my stuff to take care of myself, my physical and mental health. Generally, I start fairly early because I'm often working with international teams. I'm working with people from around the world. Sometimes I need to get up kind of early so I can maybe get on a couple calls, with somebody, from another country that might be helping me with some art or helping me with some coding or helping me with something else. My core team may be in the same time zone. They may be all over the world, right? So it really affects kind of my day to day. Early in the mornings are generally more about getting caught up to speed on everything. What's going on, what's happening in the day. I'm looking at my Slack messages, I'm working on email, I'm looking at my tasks for the day, like what do I need to have done today? What are my goals for the day? I might be looking through Jira or some bug tracking software to kind of understand what my bugs are. What somebody on your team might need today might completely throw off your entire schedule. A bug might completely throw off your schedule. So your schedule is only as good as being able to really constantly prioritize yourself every day. So you need to communicate. Generally, a couple hours after kind of our core hours might start. So for me, that's about 10 a.m. We generally have a stand-up meeting. A stand-up is a very short, typically 15-minute type meeting. Quite often in the old days, if we were all in the same room, we were all standing. That's where the team name stand-up came from. But sometimes it's behind the video in Zoom. And just kind of go like, what am I working on today? What's blocking me? Where am I stopped? Possibly what am I doing tomorrow? Right? Just kind of keeping tabs. It helps the producers understand the schedule a little bit better. But mostly it's try to identify like who's stuck, and maybe I hear something like, hey, wait, why is that guy having a problem there? That maybe didn't surface through another communication channel. So it gives us all a little bit of face-to-face. Mornings then quite often are kind of dealing with my team, dealing with meetings. Do I need to have other meetings with other team members? Things like that. So those are kind of the across the department type stuff for me that I typically am taking care of before my lunch. I really just want to make sure that is everybody else set. Occasionally I might have some me time to go do some actual work and write some design specs or build something in Unreal or the game engine, but it's hard to say. Then typically I'll take my lunch quite often with the team if I'm in the office, or sometimes we have virtual lunches and we all eat together on camera and chat and talk or play video games even remotely. So even a remote office would mimic a lot of the in-person work. And after lunch, typically I start to have a couple often quite longer meetings with some of my design team or my core team that's working on, say, my level. That could be level artists or environment artists or, the art department in general, or it could be other designers. So quite often, again, we're building things in teams, right? And so levels especially are incredibly hard because you have to have a lot of inter-team communication. You have to have a lot of codependencies going on because it's that final assembly point where everything's being put together. So you really got to know like what's coming in, hot, what's coming in not. Do I have to keep changing and adapting? Depending on the time frame of my level design, I might be just more in conceptual phase and I'm working on some documents, I'm working on drawings, I'm working on, visualization of what this thing's going to look like. Or I may be later in the process. I might be building it, working on Unreal and working in the game engine, sometimes 3-4 hours straight. I try to block out a really solid time, from mid-afternoon to the end of the day where I just can work with, hopefully no meetings or distractions. And if you can get 4 or 5 hours a day of that really solid work time, that's generally pretty good. You might also want to schedule some time to focus test your level and make sure people are, playing it, seeing what their feedback is, iterating on it. And then towards the end of the day, trying to check back in with my team, making sure they don't have anything else they need. Again, with time zone requirements and changes, maybe I need to go, solve some problems for somebody in Asia or something like that before, as they're starting to wake up so that they can know what to work on for that day. And I might pass things off to them. I'll check in my files, make sure that they can get access to them, send them any notes, send them any things they need to know, and then be able to kind of reflect back on my day a little bit, kind of see what's right, updating my tasks and my scheduling software. Every day, again, is a little different, but that's what you have to kind of love. It's not, a very menial job that you tend to just kind of get in and do the exact same thing for day after day, year after year. You have to be flexible to, work in this job really well because no day is ever the same. And in that, is exciting. And that can also be challenging because you're not always sure exactly what to do. So embrace the chaos. learn that that's sometimes your strongest weapon. It also can be seen as a little, frustrating for some people. But, that's the nature of the beast that we live in, that we have to first and foremost keep our team working, even beyond ourselves, right? And so we need to keep those other people working so that they can feed us the materials, the content, the things that we need to do our job. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of a little glance into what it's like to work in game studio and what's like to work as a level designer. Take care.
If you like this, please like and subscribe. We hope to see you next time. Take care now.